asking a question of a man. Now, there was this man who is now a friend of mine. He was just a stranger in those days, but he's a friend of mine. His name is Pete Cabrera Jr. I saw Pete Cabrera Jr. on a video praying for people, and I saw great miracles happening. And I had some questions. I tried to get a hold of this man, and he is very hard to get a hold of because he was kind of popular. And so it was hard to get through. His number wasn't available. So I kept emailing different addresses. Finally, I got through somehow. And I asked him to call me, and he did. He called me. And we're going to see how that came out in just a moment. But I wanted to ask him a question, and here's what happened. I saw him on a video praying for somebody, and he put his hand on their shoulder. They had a bad shoulder, very, very bad. It had needed surgery. And they could only lift their arm just so high. And he put his hand on their shoulder, and he prayed that it be healed. And at that point, they were able to lift their arm higher than they had in 15 years. That was really awesome. But Pete said, "Can you lift it all the way over your head?" And they said, "No." He said, "Well, let me pray again." So he prayed again, but all he did was laid his hand on them and just looked at them and said nothing. Now, I was wondering what happened, because when he said nothing, he said, "Now test it." They put their arm up right over their head. They were completely healed. And I wondered, how was he praying that time? Because I couldn't hear anything. He wasn't using his lips to speak. Was he just having, a concentrated faith in his mind right now? He's believing with all of his heart. Or was he picturing visually something in his mind that it was a finished work, the shoulder was being healed up? Or maybe he was praying in the Spirit, but I found out it was none of those things. And here's exactly what happened.
Yeah, hey, is this Tom Loud? Yeah. Hey, this is Pete Cabrera Jr. You left a message on my phone? Yeah.
Hello? Pete Cabrera? Wow. I really didn't think you'd call me. I'm really excited. I'm honored that you would call me. So, Mr. Cabrera, could I ask you a question? I saw you in this video. Yeah, I saw you in this video, and you were praying for this woman, and she had a bad shoulder. And what you did was you put your hand on her shoulder, and you prayed for her, and then you asked her to raise her arm to see how high she could lift it, and she could lift it a lot higher, but not all the way. So you went a second time, and you put your hand on her shoulder, but you didn't say anything. And so after you waited a few moments, you paused, and then you said, "Go ahead and raise your arm," and she raised it right over her shoulder. She was completely healed. So here's what I got to know. I got to know what was going on inside your head.
So let me get this right. So the question is, what was I thinking?
I'm picturing it perhaps that maybe you were thinking, positive thoughts, or maybe you were praying in the Spirit inside your mind quietly, or maybe you were picturing it as a done work. But what really was going on? I've got to know.
Well, actually, I wasn't thinking anything. Yeah, I wasn't thinking anything. I wasn't feeling anything. I wasn't thinking anything. It wasn't anything.
Nothing? You weren't thinking anything. That's your answer. You prayed for her and you were thinking nothing. Okay. Well, thanks. I guess I'll have to think about that. God bless you. Thanks for calling me. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye. I have to tell you, that really confused me, and I didn't know what to do with it. And he didn't really have an answer to give me, so I just had to ponder it, and I was praying, "God, give me the answer. What's going on? How can you think nothing and something happens I don't understand?" So the Lord gave me Romans 8:7, and he just exploded it in my spirit so that I could understand it. And he said, "Listen, your natural mind, it's hostile towards me. And it's not subject to the laws of God. Neither can it be. And what you're trying to do is pray while having your natural mind present with you. Like by having your natural mind join in together and try to have faith with you, but your natural mind is the very thing that will never have faith. And what you need to do is put it aside. Put it aside. So what I did after that, I wanted to test this out. And I went out and I found a woman who had been afflicted with osteoarthritis through her whole body. She had been afflicted with fibromyalgia. She had pain all throughout her body from head to toe. She had a bulging disc on the back of her neck. She was just a mess, and she was only in her 30s. And I approached this woman, and I wanted to try out something new, something that I believed God had shown me. And I went to this woman, and I said, "Excuse me, my name's Tom Loud, and I'm a pastor, and I pray for people, and God heals them. Are you in pain?" She said, "Am I ever in pain? I am in so much pain you can't even imagine." I said, "Well, how long?" "Well, about 15 years, constant pain, for a long, long time." And so I said, "Well, when was the last time you didn't have pain?" She said, "About 8 years ago." I said, "So 24/7? "Yeah, 24/7. I said, "Well, let me pray for you and God will take the pain away." Now, I want you to know that that wasn't the old man speaking, because the old man was saying, "Why are you saying that? Are you crazy? You're going to look like a fool." And I just said, "Shut up. I'm not dealing with you today. I'm not inviting you to the party. I'm not asking you to be my prayer partner anymore. In fact, I'm shutting you out of the prayer room." So that's what I did. I shut him out of the prayer room. And I went to this woman and I laid hands on her. And I spoke over her. I spoke the things of God's healing over her. I spoke over her and I said, "In the name of Jesus Christ, I command this shoulder, I command this hip, I command these knees, I command all these joints to be free from arthritis right now. Arthritis, leave now." And then I said, "All pain, leave also right now." And I just paused for a moment. And during that pause, I made sure I did something. I shut off my natural mind. I didn't let it speak when it wanted to say, "What if this doesn't work? You're going to look like a fool. Then God's going to be disgraced. What are you going to do?" I just said, "Shut up." And I just thought nothing. I didn't let my carnal mind enter in and think anything. I just got my mind out of the way so that God could do what he does. And so I got my mind out of the way. I silenced myself, and I just said, "God, it's your turn." After a few moments, I took my hand away, and I said, "Test it out." And she stood up as straight as could be. All the pain had left her body. All the arthritis was gone. To this day, she's walking around upright, fine, zero pain. Why? Because I learned something very important. The carnal mind needs to be isolated off of the spirit mind, and it needs to be the thing that is put aside, put off. When it says put off the old man, let me tell you what, it's not talking about your outer flesh, it's talking about the flesh of the mind of the flesh. It's talking about the carnal mind. Carnal means flesh. It's talking about the carnal mind. When you push that off, you can operate in the new man only, and that's where you find the power. So I hope that this has really blessed you. God bless you all. Walk in power. Put off the carnal mind, and you will see God do great miracles in your life.